Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Lynn Vanden Ness of the Richmond Public Library, and I would like to welcome both our in-person and at-home audiences to a performance entitled Our Flavors, presented by the Chamber Music Society of Central Virginia. This is the 10th concert in the Gellman Room Concert Series. The next Gellman Room concert will be April the 2nd, 4 weeks from today. Now, please join me in welcoming the Chamber Music Society of Central Virginia.
Thank you. We are so happy to be here today. My name is Mary Boudel, flutist and board member of the Chamber Music Society of Central Virginia. We also have Melissa Reardon with us. She has been with us before in the past, and she is playing viola. And we welcome Charles Overton for the first time. So happy to have Charles with us on the harp. We have a wonderful program of flavors to play for you today. And I also want to particularly thank Lynn Vanden Ness for these collaborations through the years at the Richmond Public Library. We really appreciate being part of the Gellman Room series. She has been so supportive of us through the years, and it's just a real gift. So we also have a special guest with us, Cindy Liffick, who will be narrating. I'm very grateful to Cindy for joining us on some short notice, actually. And you will hear some interesting poems reflecting flavors. We begin today with a piece by a French composer, Pierre-Octave Férud, who wrote a wonderful set of solo flute repertoire, a set of solo flute pieces. This particular piece represents the Chinese Dragon Boat Festival. Now, that festival takes place in the hottest time of year, and so you will hear some poems that reflect the spirit of that time of year.
Now we'll cool down those hot weather pieces with a few recipes from our favorite hot weather treat, ice cream. These are from The Virginia Housewife or Methodical Cook by Mary Randolph, 1824. Lemonade ice. Make a quart of rich lemonade. Whip the whites of 6 fresh eggs to a strong froth. Mix them well with the lemonade and freeze it. The juice of morello cherries or of currants mixed with water and sugar and prepared in the same way make very delicate ices. Coffee cream. Toast 2 gills of raw coffee till it is a light brown and not a grain burnt. Put it hot from the toaster without grinding it into a quart of rich and perfectly sweet milk. Boil it and add the yolk of 8 eggs. When done, strain it through a sieve and sweeten it. If properly done, it will not be discolored. The coffee may be dried and will answer for making in the usual way to drink, allowing more for the quantity of water than if it had not gone through this process. Now we'll switch a bit to a different flavor. The only true lovers are chefs or Happy Birthday, Edna Lewis by Nikki Giovanni. It is practically amazing. A show of immense proportions, more awe-inspiring, more death-defying, more dangerous than hanging from some very thin rope at the top of the very big tent. More difficult than putting the lions and tigers in the same cage, more better than anything at all. That mothers cook meals each day for ungrateful children and spouses. If we were fair about it, we would enclose all kitchens in glass so that the passers-by would stop and wonder at the Ralstons bubbling in the Pyrex double boiler each morning and the beauty of the 4 plates stacked against the 4 glasses, tucking the forks and knives with that wonderful gentle touch of a napkin just kissing the edge. If we were really fair, we would hold contests for the ordinary housewife, who is not an ordinary anything but a working mother, though we recognize immediately that there is no concept of a working father, though we were all told men have families too, so that we might reward the best housewife with some sort of silver plate, and the best house mother with a silver child, and the best working housewife mother with a silver husband studded with rubies and sapphires and 1/4 carat diamond, if we were fair about it. But this is about love, and there can be no better loving than bread pudding. Oh, sure, I know some people who think bread pudding is just food, but some people also think creamed corn comes in a can, and they have never known the pure ecstasy of slicing down the thicker edge of an ear of silver queen that was just picked at 5 or 6 this very same morning, then having it sliced it down so very neatly. You take the back of the knife and pull it all back up, releasing that wonderful milk to the bowl, to which you add a pinch of garlic and some fresh ground pepper, which you then turn into a gently slit skillet, and you shimmer it all like eggs, then put a piece of aluminum foil over it and let it rest while you put your hands at the small of your back and go, Phew. And ain't that love that soaks cold chicken wings in buttermilk and gets the heavy iron pot out and puts just the right pat of lard in it at a high temperature so that you dust the wings with a little seasoned flour. The lard sizzles and cracks while the wings turn all golden on the outside and juicy on the inside. And yes, I'd say that's love, all right, because that other stuff anybody can do. And if you can do it long enough, you can do it either well or adequately. But cooking, now that is something you learn about from your heart and then make your hands do what your grandmother's hands did. And I still don't trust anyone who makes meatloaf with instruments because the meat is to be turned with your hands. And while this may not be a traditional love poem, let me just say one small thing for castor oil and Vicks Vapor Rub and how's my little baby feeling today after a hard day's work. So yes, this is a love poem of the highest order because the next best cook in the world, my grandmother being the best, just had a birthday, and all the asparagus and wild greens and quail and tomato on the vines and little peas in spring and half runners in early summer and all the wonderful musty things that come from the ground said, Edna Lewis is having a birthday, and all of us who love all of you who love food wish her a happy birthday, because we who are really smart know that chefs make the best lovers, especially when they serve it with oysters on the half shell. Ads from WRVA's Calling All Cooks Quiz Show, November 8th, 1950. Is that what you call it? Just milk? You know what that is. That's a special milk because it is Richmond Dairy Golden Guernsey milk, Mrs. Jenkins, with a rich color and delightful flavor. But that's only one of many superior Richmond dairy products, delicious dairy products you can have delivered to your doorstep. For cottage cheese, grade 8 milk, dairy rich, a wonderful tasting chocolate drink, butter, homogenized vitamin D milk, and other products, dial 70311 or place your order with the Richmond Dairy Route Man. And FFV saltines. Those FFV crackers are special because they're the only saltine crackers baked fresh daily right here in Richmond. FFV saltines are always a good food because they're low in cost and high in body-building proteins and energy-building carbohydrates. They're extra salty and crisp because they're extra fresh. So ladies, next time you buy saltines, look for that distinctive red and white box marked FFV. Remember, FFV saltines, baked fresh daily in Richmond. From Bittersweet, African-American Presidential Cooks in Antebellum America by Adrian Miller in The President's Kitchen Cabinet, the story of the African-Americans who have fed our first families, from the Washingtons to the Obamas, 2017. Hercules was one of George Washington's enslaved servants at Mount Vernon. In 1791, Washington moved him to Philadelphia when that city was the nation's capital to be his head chef. In the Philadelphia Executive Residence's kitchen, Hercules worked with a team of 8 people: Francis the steward, some assistant cooks, including his own enslaved teenage son, Richmond, and several waiters. He cooked in a large fireplace filled with cooking equipment. This type of cooking is also known as hearth or hearthside cooking. It involves starting and tending a fire, operating numerous gadgets and cooking equipment that are either suspended over the fire or on the floor in front of the fire, or sometimes cooking food in the ashes of the fire. Such hearth cooking is difficult and dangerous, but as George Washington's grandson later wrote, Hercules excelled at it. The chief cook would have termed in modern parlance a celebrated artiste. He was named Hercules and familiarly termed Uncle Harkless. He was, at the period of the first presidency, as highly accomplished a proficient in the culinary art as could be found in the United States. The steward, and indeed the whole household, treated the chief cook with as much respect as and upon this banquet, he required some half dozen aprons and napkins out of number. It was surprising the order and discipline that was observed in so bustling a scene. No recipes known to be attributable to Hercules survive to this day, and there are few descriptions of the meals that he made for President Washington during his time in Philadelphia from 1791 to 1797. A curious fact, given President Washington's celebrity status. Fortunately, one Washington biographer found this reference to one of those meals. There was an elegant variety of roast beef, veal, turkey, ducks, fowls, hams, etc., puddings, jellies, oranges, apples, nuts, almonds, figs, raisins, and a variety of wines and punches.
Thank you all so much for coming, and we hope to see many of you tomorrow. There is another concert. There are tickets available, walk-up tickets that you can buy at the door. So we hope you will join us. We're playing Debussy Sonata and some very interesting, beautiful music. So I think you will enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Lynn.